Richard Medhurst has put together a thread that we're just kind of covering of the events, a recap of the last 48 hours, and he put this out today. Israel launched its biggest attack in the West Bank in 20 years, obliterating many parts of Jenin refugee camp. To do this, Israel sent troops, armed vehicles, drones, planes, and helicopters. A devastating attack that destroyed homes, infrastructures, and lives. And then he puts a clip here that it's only 9 seconds. As you can see, like this is ridiculous. So the way that corporate media is covering all of this is that they're going after terrorists. So when they show these things on corporate media, is that they're going after terrorists. They're not showing them demolishing homes. They're not showing that type. And of course, the rhetoric doesn't match which actually should be being said here. But let's continue to the next part of this thread. Israel killed 13 Palestinians, many of them teenagers. Hundreds more were wounded, 20 of them in critical condition. Jenin Refugee Camp is barely a half a kilometer in size, populated by over 14,000 people. The idea Israel can attack it without causing civilian casualties is ludicrous. Is on his face, and I agree. Watch as a Israeli vehicle bulldozer invade Jenin. This is a 10-second video I'll put up here. I'll turn the sound off because it's like a buzzing sound. But this is them coming in. Like this is so terrible, man. Like, what do they need that for? What are you doing with a terrorist with that? Are you getting terrorists with that? Are you knowing you're coming to destroy homes? Like, it's terrible. So let's continue with the thread. And then we go to this next one. Over 1,000 Israeli troops are sent in to attack the Palestinian refugee camp, which over the years has become a symbol of resistance against the occupation because of Israelis' failure to conquer or tame it. And now we see, look at this show.
A very large military convoy.
That's insane right there. This is insane. I mean, like, people have to understand this in the context of, like, this is not supposed to be... It's not supposed to be like an active war that's going on. This is just, them doing military, inflicting these sort of raids and in the name of trying to catch terrorists. And they're killing more civilians than terrorists. And they just keep doing it. And the U.S. just sit back and kind of report on this is sort of being some sort of equal fight. It is just, pretty despicable, to say the least here. And then here he shows Israeli warplanes bombing Jenin, and it's going to show in just a second there, and it's going to repeat here. Just
wow.
Marianne Williamson and RFK are fine with this.
Yeah,
they're both Zionists. They're fine with this. This is terrible. Let's continue. Israeli forces go door to door, kicking families out of their homes at gunpoint. Others receive text messages from Israeli numbers telling them to leave. This is a child right here. What kind of trauma you think this child is going to have? Literally for the rest of his life. Literally. Go ahead. I'll turn the sound off. Go ahead.
Well, again, what we're seeing here is a mass displacement of people. And I just can't help but wonder of the hatred and fear that will remain after all of this is said and done. And the anger and resentment and the unchecked aggression. There's all of this never needed to happen, but yet when you have such corruption and abuse, it's only a matter of time before these systems do collapse in upon themselves and their own hypocrisy. So it's, what we're seeing here is more or less man's inhumanity to man, and we have to be better. I want us to be better, but after all of this, and again, the United States giving money to Israel and so much more, I'm always hesitant to say that there's hope, when clearly in this scenario and with the actions that we've seen, not only today, but yesterday and the day before, I don't see it getting better anytime soon.
Yeah, and it's because we have to understand who the United States are. They colonized the they're colonial settlers themselves. So when you see another colonial project going on, you kind of go with the colonizer's viewpoint. You were one of them. So when they say, "Oh, that's what you're doing," yeah, we were doing that too. When it's slavery, we was going to get all the bad slaves. It's the same. It's so like, what do we expect really from the United States? Like, what do we expect more from them?
Let's even look at this ridiculous war in Ukraine as well, and the actions that are happening there. I mean, again, it's just being a testing ground of man's inhumanity to man again. Where you have Lindsey Graham saying killing Russians is the best money we've ever spent. All the while, there is that article that we covered from the New Republic, where what was RFK Jr., Jimmy Dore, and Glenn Greenwald all saying, like, hey, people are dying in this war, and the United States government is helping fund it. It's none of this needs to happen. It's just I wonder when there's gonna be a point where people say enough. After a while, there has to be a point where somebody says, "Okay, what are we doing? Why are we allowing this? What was the message again? Because this doesn't add up. None of it does." And I remember being optimistic and thinking that there was going to be some change, some hope, but
not any longer. You don't have that optimism.
No, it's not there. The heartstrings have all been cut. I don't want to say that I'm becoming cynical and pessimistic, but look at the imagery that we're seeing. Look at the videos that you have pulled up right now. Do you think any of us really like talking about this stuff, or saying that seeing people getting hurt like this? I wonder when it does end, and I don't think I'll see it in my lifetime. And so long as you have war profiteering and people profiting off of this, especially our wonderful Congress people who are war profiteering, ongoing, who are doing a lot of insider trading and have a lot of connections to big oil and the military industrial complex, I know for a fact that nothing's going to fundamentally change until everything gets reset. The system doesn't work. And think about how they sell it on corporate media too. Like, oh, this is a military action to take care of terrorists. All I'm seeing is malnourished people, women, and children. Yeah, wow. Wow, those are some terrorists right there. Okay, great. No.
And let's continue. Richard, he continues and he says, as a result of this latest assault, thousands of Palestinians are forced to flee their homes, literally in pajamas, carrying nothing but their children. And then you can see it here in this in context video right here. And let's play it. We'll play it with the sound. Let's listen. So I'm just think about the kids, man. What do you think the kids are gonna do?
I think.
We just go back. Let's just go back to playing the next day. Like what?
No.
It's terrible. Let's continue here. These are terrorists. She says, we came here at the hospital. They let us leave our houses. I think that's what she said. Someone used the ambulance headphones and told us to leave the houses. Wow. as the soldiers were standing near the ambulance and they knew that we have to leave. They told us to leave the houses and keep them open. We left our clothes, things, money inside the houses. She's in the hospital. Where are you now? I'm at the hospital. And she's asking why. They brought us to the hospital. It's ridiculous. Even in all what's happened, a kid has a little kitten trying to keep his spirits up. This is just terrible. We're not going to play each video. Palestinians who are refugees in their own country turned into refugees once again. This is terrible. Palestinian fighters confront the Israeli invasion with Molotov cocktails, and Israel vehicle quickly drives away after being set on fire. You don't see none of this on TV, Kit. So I think I'm gonna end it there. It is coming to a close. It's just more videos of like just what's going on. And this is video content from people actually there. This is not news video. This is different. It looks like he's put together different video clips. People actually there recording on their phones. You can see some of the watermarks and where he's getting these videos, but this is crazy. Israel openly targets journalists. Watch this Israeli soldier using a camera as target practice. He casually opens the door of his Jeep and keeps shooting at the microphone and camera until they're destroyed. Wow. That's what he's doing right here.
That's not the first time. How could we forget? I think it was in 2021. Where a journalist was assassinated, shot through the head, and she had all the markings of, hey, she's with the press, helmet with the press, black and Kevlar. And again, a guy comes there. Also, this should show you just how unprofessional, because again, the guy firing his weapon at the camera, do you know? Because when you fire your weapon at an object, the bullet doesn't stop until it hits it. Right. So this guy's just shooting specifically at this camera, and he's hitting it, but a couple of shots he did miss. Jeez. I mean, what does this even prove?
Yeah, exactly. Unless there's some sort of footage that could make them look bad, so he's trying to get damage it, but he has to know with all digital that you got to crush the camera, but. Mm-hmm. This is terrible. They're just showing more bulldozing of homes. This is not terrorists, man. In the United States, that's not what they're doing. And they're just they're fine with them colonizing this place, and they're just going to use the cover story so they can be fine. So it covers them. Oh, well, we thought this was going on. They know damn well what's going on down here. They know damn well, but why don't they report about this in the way they report about Ukrainians? Why aren't they talking about this part? This is terrible. This is some of the wreckage they did. Just regular people. You wake up, just imagine you wake up,
My car's gone. What happened?
Everything is just like, what? The city is demolished? And this is the end, towards the end. This is Jenin following Israeli attack, and they're just showing some of the stuff. It's pretty terrible, man. It's not pretty terrible. It is absolutely terrible. So, yeah. Any last words on that, and we'll move to the next story, the Hunter Biden story.
I hope that things can eventually change. That's all I can hope for. But I'm just saying words. I want there to be change, but the only way it's going to happen is if people say enough.
Yeah. Hopefully, with the multipolar world, there can be some sort of pressure to get more done, with the United States not being the unit. Because if the United States is the only power, then they're able to sort of do this, and nobody, other countries, can say anything. But as the world becomes multipolar, I'm hoping that is the sort of the thing that's going to help get this to the right place that it should be, which is, this should be Palestine. And if you're Jewish, you want to live there, that's fine. But this is Palestine, and that's like you said, we can only hope there's a better outcome than what we're seeing. But solidarity to the Palestinian people in Palestine.